Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another handling car versus car. Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Physiics. Welcome back to another handling episode of the car versus car. Today we're going to do the Entity versus the Zentorno. As you can see, the stats are pretty similar. The Zentorno has a slight edge on the acceleration, but the Entity has a better edge on the traction. So again, like we did on the last episode, in case you guys missed that, we did it on a custom track that I have made, and the last episode was the Adder versus the Zentorno. The Zentorno actually beat out the Adder by a pretty good distance, and so I decided to go and stick with the superclass, and I went with the Entity versus the Zentorno. Now this is a 3-lap course I created. There's a lot of turns, there's a few straightaways to kind of assist with the acceleration and the speed of a car, but mainly this is a handling test to see which car can turn better and go off of turns into their breakaway speeds. Now, the 3 laps that I did here are pretty challenging. They're very curvy, and there's not really that much room for error. Now, there is also one particular thing I wanted to mention in this race, was that both of these cars are very evenly matched. Now, one of them has a slight advantage on one particular aspect of the vehicle, for example, the handle, the traction, but the other one has an advantage over the acceleration, which would be the Zentorno. Now, I did accidentally bump into the wall there, but because I didn't lose really any speed at all, if anything, it improved my speed. I figured I would continue with this race, and actually I did really well when it comes to the Entity. Now, these are simultaneously put together, so what I mean by that is they are on par when it comes to at the same exact time in which you start. Each vehicle started the race, so it's on point. Now, one thing also I wanted to mention was I did this race with this car, with these cars the same way I did with the Adder and the Zentorno, is I did these races probably a good 10 to 15 times, and I decided to keep the best lap time at the end for both vehicles. So this Zentorno race that you're seeing on the right hand side, that is the best time I've gotten for that vehicle after doing it about 10 to 15 times, and the same thing goes for the Entity on the left side. I did that 10 to 15 times, and I kept the best time that I was able to do. What I've noticed from both of these cars is that obviously they both have very good handling. For those of you guys who are wondering which vehicle you should buy for races, or if you guys are still on the fence, or maybe you're not sure which one has a lot of a better advantage, I would have to say after racing both of these vehicles that it's pretty much an even race. I mean, there really isn't one car that has a clear advantage like the way the Zentorno had over the Adder, but I will say that I think it's mainly when it comes to these two cars racing, I think it more has to do with the fact that it's about the driver and how you drive, and certain aspects where if you hit a turn a really smooth, crisp way, you'll have a better advantage over the other person. So, you know, when it comes to picking each car or saying which one is better, I would have to say that both of these cars have their unique abilities. For example, the Zentorno has more acceleration than the Entity. Therefore, when it comes to picking up speed right off of turns, it would be a little bit better to do that, but the handling on the Entity is slightly better, so making turns and doing things like that would be more beneficial with an Entity. But again, I think when it comes to racing in GTA Online with supercars, I think these two guys are the cream of the crop, and I feel like maybe these guys would be the type of races that the type of cars that would benefit more in a turn race, and also even a short track because of their high acceleration rate compared to an Adder. Now, the sleek design of both vehicles makes it a very smooth ride when it comes to turning. I don't like using handbrakes on turns because of how much the car slides. When the car slides, the back end slides a lot more, and then that allows the vehicle to lose a little bit of control. So I tried to keep a focus on not hitting the handbrake. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I have to call a winner, I'd have to call this one a draw just because of how close it was. I'll see you guys in the next video.